Cat here, your favorite ginger bibliophile. Hope you're all doing really well, and I hope you're in the mood for a grim tale, because by the time this goes up tomorrow, it'll be Monday. So, hopefully, this is another short one. I have no flipping idea. Oh, no, this one's got some heft to it. It's The Golden Children. And once again, I have never freaking heard of this, so let's dive into it and see what it's all about. Or have you read this one? There was once a poor man and a poor woman who had nothing but a little hut and supported themselves by fishing and were living hand to mouth. One day, however, as the husband was sitting by the water's edge and casting out his net, he happened to pull in a fish made entirely of gold. That's a pretty heavy fish. I could live off that. His astonishment was great, and while he was examining the fish, it began to speak and said, "Listen to me, fisherman. If you throw me back in the water, I'll turn your little hut into a splendid castle." Made of gold and it talks? All kinds of magic. "What's the use of a castle?" responded the fisherman, "if I don't have anything to eat?" "I'll take care of that too," continued the golden fish. "There'll be a cupboard in the castle. When you open it, there'll be dishes with the very best food on them, and as much as you desire." "If that's the case," said the man, "I can certainly do you a favor." "Indeed," said the fish, "there is a condition attached to this. You're not allowed to tell anyone in the world, no matter who it may be, how you came by your good fortune. If you so much as breathe a single word, all of it will be over." So now it's time to start lying to the wife and, claim he inherited the magic castle. But something tells me it's going to backfire. The man threw the miraculous fish back into the water and went home. However, instead of finding his hut in its usual place, he discovered a great castle and stood gaping at it in amazement. Then he went inside and saw his wife dressed in beautiful clothes and sitting in a splendid room. She was extremely happy and asked, "Husband, how did all this happen so suddenly? I'm really pleased." "Yes," said the man, "it pleases me too. But I'm also tremendously hungry. Give me something to eat." "I haven't got a thing," his wife said, "and I don't know where to find anything in this new house." Dang, she didn't even really ask. It's like, redirect real easy. "No need to worry," said the husband. "Over there's a cupboard. Just go and open it." When she opened the cupboard, she found cake, meat, fruit, and wine. Everything looked at her enticingly. "What more could my heart desire?" she exclaimed with joy. No property taxes or they're screwed. They sat down at the table and ate and drank together. After they had finished eating, the wife asked, "Where in the world did all this come from, husband?" "Ah," said the husband, "don't ask me about it. I'm not allowed to reveal a thing. If I tell you, then our good fortune will vanish." "Very well," she said. "If I'm not supposed to know, then I don't want to know." However, she was not being sincere, and she kept thinking about the matter day and night. I mean, honestly, same. Like, how can you just not be curious? Yay, but also, something's up. In addition, she kept tormenting and pestering her husband until he lost his patience and declared that everything had come from a miraculous golden fish which he had caught, and that he had given the fish back its freedom for the castle. She was warned. Mm. As soon as he said that, the beautiful castle vanished instantly, cupboard and all, and once again they found themselves sitting in the old fishing hut. And I bet she ain't even gonna say nothing. She's gonna act the victim. Now the man had to start his work all over again, and he went fishing. As luck would have it, however, he caught the golden fish once more. "Listen," said the fish, "if you throw me back in the water, I'll give you the castle again, and this time the cupboard will be more filled with boiled and roast meats. Just be firm. Whatever you do, don't reveal who gave you all this, otherwise you'll lose everything again." Well, she shouldn't ask now that she already knows the answer. Somebody's gonna ask, and he's gonna, run his mouth, though. I know it. "I'll certainly be on my guard," answered the fisherman, and he threw the fish back into the water. When he returned home, everything had been restored to its former splendor, and his wife was ecstatic about their good fortune. Yet curiosity got the better of her, and in a few days she began asking questions again about how it all happened and how he had managed everything. Her husband kept silent for a long time, but eventually she annoyed him so much that he exploded and revealed the secret. In an instant, the castle vanished, and they found themselves sitting in the hut once again. See what you've done, said the husband. Now we'll have to live in poverty again. Because her dumb butt don't learn. Like, didn't he tell you that it's going to go away if he tells you, and then you kept going? And you didn't learn when it happened the first time? Just throw her in the river, then she can't ask questions. She probably can't swim. And he ain't got to share. Ah, said his wife, I'd rather live in poverty than not know who's giving us all that wealth. You already know. It's the magic talking golden fish. Stupid. After all, I want to keep my peace of mind by not letting anyone else have theirs, but. The man went fishing again. After a while, the same thing occurred. He pulled in the golden fish for a third time. And we still got 3 pages to go, so he gonna do something stupid. Listen, said the fish, it's clear to me that I'm bound to keep falling into your hands. So take me home with you and cut me into 6 pieces. Give your wife 2 of these to eat and 2 to your horse. Then bury 2 in the ground and go reap blessings from them all. The man took the fish home with him and did as he had been told. Then it came to pass that the 2 pieces he had buried in the ground grew into 2 golden lilies. His horse had 2 golden foals, and his wife gave birth to 2 children who were all gold. The children grew up and became tall and handsome, while the lilies and horses grew along with them. One day the boys said, Father, we want to mount our golden steeds and go out into the world. That made the old man very sad, and he replied, How shall I bear your absence when I won't know what's happening to you? The 2 golden lilies will stay here, they said, so you'll be able to tell from them how we are. If they are fresh, then we are doing well. If they wilt, then we are sick. If they perish, then we shall be dead. And they're, considering their genetics, they're stupid. They're going to die. They rode away and came to an inn, where many people were seated inside. When the people caught sight of the 2 golden boys, they began to laugh at them and mock them. Hearing their mockery, one of the brothers felt ashamed and decided that he did not want to see the world anymore. So he turned around and went back to his father. However, the other brother continued his journey and came to a great forest. Just as he was about to ride into it, some people told him, Don't ride through the forest, it's full of robbers. They'll be rough with you, especially when they see that you're made of gold and your horses, well, they'll kill you for sure. But he would not let himself be scared by that and said, I've got to get through, and get through I shall. Also, he's made of gold. So how are they going to kill him? Stab a heart that doesn't exist because it's made out of metal? That's I don't know how that works. Everything is solid gold, but also living. Then he took a bearskin and covered himself and his horse with it so that nothing more of their gold could be seen. He then rode calmly into the forest. When he had gone a little way, he heard a rustling sound in the bushes and voices talking together. There's one, a voice cried out from the side. Let him go. He's just one of those lazy vagabonds, poor as a church mouse. We won't get a thing from him, a voice said from the other side. So the golden youth rode safely through the forest, and no harm befell him. One day he came riding into a village and saw a maiden who was so beautiful that he could not imagine any maiden more beautiful than her in the whole world. His love for her was so overwhelming that he went straight up to her and said, I love you with all my heart. Will you be my wife? They really don't know the difference between love and lust in these stories. I saw you and fell in love. That's called wanting to bang, not love. The maiden took such an immediate liking to him that she in turn gave her consent. Yes, I will be your wife and remain true to you for the rest of my life. She saw he was walking money. So they held the wedding, probably sliced off one of his fingers to pay for it. And just as the celebration was in full swing, the bride's father came home and was very much surprised indeed to find his daughter married. Yeah, how does that work? I thought chicks were supposed to be sold by their fathers back in the day when this was written. You're not allowed to actually pick your own husband. Where's the bridegroom? He asked. They pointed to the golden youth, who was still wearing the bearskin, and the father was furious that never shall a daughter of mine marry a lazy vagabond, and he wanted to murder him. Then his daughter pleaded as hard as she could. But father, she said, he's my husband, and I love him with all of my heart. Just don't ask me his name, because, we didn't get that far. Eventually, the father calmed down, but he could not get over the idea that his daughter might have married a common, wretched beggar, and he woke up early the next morning to see for himself. When he looked into their room, he saw a dazzling golden man in bed, and the discarded bearskin was lying on the floor. Then he went back to his room and thought, "It's a good thing that I kept my temper. Otherwise, I might have committed an awful crime." So if you murder a poor person, fine. But if you murder someone made out of gold, that's where we draw the line. Good to know. In the meantime, the golden youth dreamed that he was out hunting a splendid stag. When he awoke in the morning, he said to his wife, "I want to go out hunting." She was anxious and begged him to stay at home. "You could easily have an accident," she said. But he answered, "I must go hunting, and hunting I shall go." He got up and went into the forest, and before long a proud stag stopped in front of him, just as in his dream. He took aim and was about to shoot, but the stag ran off. He chased the animal over ditches and through bushes, and did not get tired all day. But in the evening the stag disappeared before his eyes, and the youth now looked around him. He saw he was standing before a small cottage, and inside was a witch. When he knocked, the old woman came out and asked, "What are you doing in the middle of the great forest so late?" "Have you seen a stag?" he asked. "Yes," she replied, "I know the stag quite well." Now a little dog that had come outside with her began to bark viciously at the man. "If you don't shut up, you nasty cur, I'll shoot you dead." I don't think I like this golden prig." "What will you do?" the witch cried angrily. "You'd shoot my little dog dead?" Immediately she turned him into stone, and he lay flat on the ground. Nicer than what I would have done. Meanwhile, his bride waited for him in vain and thought, "I'm sure that my fears have come true," as well as everything else that was weighing so heavily on her heart. However, the other brother, who was standing near the golden lilies at home, saw one of the lilies suddenly droop. "Oh God," he said, "my brother's had a great accident. I have got to go and see if I can save him." "Stay here," said the father. "What shall I do if I lose you as well?" Are they really such a loss? Should have smelted them down. They seem kind of stupid. He mounted his golden steed, rode off, and came to the forest where his brother was lying on the ground as a stone. The old witch came out of her house and called out to him. She wanted to trap him, too, but he kept his distance from her and said, "If you don't bring my brother back to life, I'm going to shoot you." Unwillingly, she touched the stone with her finger, and the brother regained his human form at once. There was great rejoicing when the two brothers saw each other again. They embraced, kissed each other, and rode out of the forest together. The one to his bride, the other home to his father. "I was positive that you had rescued your brother," said the father. "I knew when the other golden lilies suddenly straightened up and began to bloom again. From then on, they lived happily, and everything went well for them until they died." Oh no, that one threatened a dog, so he got too good out of it. The other one, yeah, he might have potential, other than saving his miscreant brother. So, it is what it is. Hopefully, y'all enjoyed that, and I will see you next week. Bye. Happy reading.